You've done all the hard thinking. You watched yourself do the real work. You broke it into pieces, you decided which ones go to AI, and you defined them precisely. Now comes the part that actually feels good. You hand one over. And how you hand it over matters more than almost anyone tells you, because the AI is not a magic box that reads your mind. It's closer to a brand new hire on day one. Sharp, fast, eager, and completely clueless about everything you didn't tell it. So you don't just demand the finished work and judge what comes back. You train it. Here's what you'll walk away able to do. By the end of this, you'll take one task you've already defined and actually run it through the AI for real, on a real input. And you'll know how to steer it from a rough first pass to something you genuinely use. Not by hunting for a magic prompt, by managing it the way you'd manage a capable new person who just needs to learn how you want it. That's the whole move, and it's the one almost nobody does. So let's do it. First, one rule that saves you a lot of pain. Start with one task, not the whole process, one piece. The temptation, now that you can actually do this, is to hand over everything at once and walk away. Don't. Pick a single defined task, and if you can, pick one that's high volume and low stakes, something you do a lot, where a mistake costs you nothing. That way, you get your reps in fast and cheap. Get that one task running well before you touch the next one. One clean win teaches you more than 5 half-built messes. So here's the handover itself, and it runs in 4 moves. Keep the new hire picture in your head the whole way through, because that's exactly what this is. You're onboarding someone sharp who has never seen your work before. Hand it the definition. Let it propose its approach. Run it on one real example. Then refine and reinforce. 4 moves. Let's walk. Each one. Move 1. Hand it the definition. The whole thing you already wrote. The inputs it needs in hand, the exact shape of the output, and what done actually means. Not a vague ask tossed over the wall. The full, defined task. The same way you'd hand a new hire a clear, written brief instead of mumbling, just figure out the emails on their way to their desk. You already did this work. This is where it pays off. Move 2. Before it does a single thing, ask it how it plans to. This is the step almost everyone skips, and it is pure gold. You say, in plain words, before you start, walk me through how you'll approach this. And it lays out its plan. Right there, in about 10 seconds, you catch the misunderstandings before they're buried inside a finished draft. If it's about to do the wrong thing, you find out now, while it costs nothing to correct, instead of after it's produced a full page of confident, wrong work. A sharp new hire who tells you the plan before they run is worth 10 who just disappear and come back with the wrong thing. Move 3. Now let it actually do the task on one real example. Give it a genuine input, a real transcript, a real set of numbers, the real thing, and let it produce the result for real. Then you do the part that's yours. You look hard at what came back against the done you defined, not a vibe check. Did it actually hit the conditions you wrote down? This is exactly why defining done mattered so much. It's the ruler you measure the result against. Without it, you're just squinting and hoping. Move 4. Refine and reinforce. This is where most people quit, and it is the single most important move of the 4. The first output will not be perfect. That is normal. That is what a first pass is. You don't fire a new hire over a rough first morning. You tell them what to fix, and they get sharper. Same here, with one honest difference. The AI isn't an employee who remembers your feedback forever. You reinforce by tightening the instructions themselves. You point out exactly what was off, you add the missing line to the definition, and you run it again. The fix lives in your spec, not in the model's memory. That's the loop. Look at the result, sharpen the definition, run it again. Alex Hormozi puts the idea simply: train AI like a new employee. Reinforce. Don't abandon it on one miss. Let me run all 4 on one real task so you can see how fast it actually goes. The follow-up email after a sales call. Move 1, I hand it the definition I already wrote. The call transcript goes in. A 3-paragraph email comes out, and done means it names a real detail from the actual call, gives exactly one clear next step, and sounds like me, not a template. Move 2, I ask, before you write it, how will you approach this? It says it'll pull the key moments from the transcript first, then draft the 3 paragraphs. Good, that's right. Go. Move 3, I hand it a real transcript and read what comes back. Move 4, it nailed the structure, but the tone is a notch too stiff and formal for me. So I don't argue with it, and I don't give up. I add one line to the definition. Keep it warm and conversational, like I'm writing to someone I like. And I run it again. Second pass. Exactly right. That whole loop took about 4 minutes. And here's the payoff. Because the fix went into the definition, not just that one reply, it runs that well every time I use it from now on. Now, sit with move 4 for a second, because it's quietly where this entire course pays off, or doesn't. Remember the 2 camps from the very first lesson? The AI is junk crowd is mostly just people who got one mediocre output and quit. They handed over vague work, got a vague result, decided the tool was broken, and walked away. But that's not you anymore. You're not handing over vague work. You've got a real definition. So when your first run comes back a little off, you're not back at its junk. You're a manager giving a capable new hire 1 round of clear feedback. 1 round usually does it. The people who win with AI aren't the ones who get it perfect on the first try. They're the ones who don't quit on the first try. And I want to be straight with you about what this move actually is, because it's the whole point of the course, standing up in one moment. This, the looking, the steering, the tightening, the running it again, this is the real work. There is no button that does it for you. The AI produces, you direct. The leverage was never the AI quietly doing your job while you walked away. The leverage is you doing the defining and the steering well, so that the AI's output is finally worth something. That's the part that's yours, and it's the part that almost nobody is willing to do. Do it. And the same AI that felt useless to everyone else becomes an extension of you. So here's your move. And this is the real one. The entire course has been pointing at this single action. Take one task you've defined and actually hand it over. The 4 moves. Hand it the definition. Let it propose its approach. Run it on one real example. Then refine and reinforce until it's right. Don't hand over 5 tasks. Don't fire it on one bad output. Get one task genuinely working, end to end. Do that today on something real off your own list. Because once you've got one task running well, the obvious question is the next one. You did this on a single piece of work. What happens when you want it reliable, repeatable, running across your whole operation, not one task you babysit, but a system that holds? That's exactly where we go next in the final lesson. It's where one task turns into something much bigger. I'll see you there. So go take that first rep. One real task, the 4 moves, today. Hand it over, let it propose, run it for real, and reinforce until it's right. Don't quit on the rough first pass, because that rough first pass is the exact moment everyone else gives up, and you don't. Do that. And here's what I want you to actually feel. You just did the operator's first rep. The thing almost nobody does. You're not someone who watched a course about AI anymore. You directed it on your own real work. That's the move. Now go run it again.